at your spots.
We're back on the Morning Brew, still trying to figure out what's in the magic box there. I have no idea. But it's Bernco on the Brew on a Wednesday. We love this. And we are joined by the new Fire Chief, Chris Celaya from Bernco County. And I love when we have Bernco on the Brew on, because you guys always bring something really exciting. And you are brand new.
Correct.
But I wanted to just talk real quickly that we have, Saturday is kind of a big day.
Correct.
And I'm sure is it the busiest day of the year for you guys?
It is. It is. At least for fire-wise, absolutely.
Right. So what are some of the things, easy things we all can do to make sure that we all stay safe with fireworks?
Well, of course, making sure that you're using them very safely. Probably the most important thing is while there's a fire danger, keep in mind we've had a lot of rain lately.
Right.
And that lessens the danger, but it
That
doesn't
helps,
eliminate.
right?
Absolutely, but it doesn't eliminate it. And so you just got to make sure that you're using them in a safe area, clear out the area, keep your brush and stuff away so you don't have any potential.
When I was growing up, my dad would never let us light off fireworks if we didn't have a bucket of water nearby.
Correct.
Is that always a good thing too?
Absolutely. Having a way to extinguish them, even when you think that everything's extinguished,
Right.
make sure you douse them, put them in a bucket so they're completely out.
And then I've always heard this, the difference between the caution label and the warning label. Is that like a rule of thumb, or is that kind of a urban myth? Is that a real thing that in Bernco County we can use the caution, we can't use the warning label fireworks? But what is this? Do you know the story on that?
They're all very similar, and there's very minute differences.
Right.
Bottom line, you got to be careful with them.
Yeah.
Whether it says warning or caution, it's there for a reason, and it's telling you got to be careful.
No doubt. Well, I know that you are brand new to the department. You just came in from El Paso.
Correct.
How did you find Bernco County? How did you come here?
I actually have family that lives up in Rio Rancho, and I have a friend that lives up in he's fire chief up in Sandoval County that I met several years back. So I knew a little bit about the area, and so that's kind of how I knew the openings came up. And
Right.
And
Did you always want to be a chief?
Well, I spent 28 years with the city, and you progress
in El Paso, right?
In El Paso, and you work your way up, and you start looking, what's the next opportunity, the next opportunity.
Right.
For me, I started very young, and I was 20 years old when I started, and met my time with the city to meet retirement requirements. So you got to look, all right, is it time to hang up the boots and go fishing, or for me, I wanted to continue with public service. I still like what I do, and I wanted to continue. So I was looking for a fire chief's job to see where else I could do a little bit more of what I do.
And to find one not too far away from home, right?
Absolutely. I have my kids. I have my parents still live out in El Paso, and this was just a perfect fit 'cause it's close to be able to go back and visit.
What are you finding with the department? I know that the police side of things has had some issues in Bernco County and Albuquerque, but what are you finding when you come into the fire department? Is it running good, running smoothly? Is there things you want to fix, things you want to change? What is going on?
Well, just as an outsider, I think that's the best opportunity to take a complete look at the department.
Bring some fresh eyes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a very young department, and I still talk to
And by
people
young, do you mean the officers themselves are young?
Right. Well, the department is a whole, as a fully paid professional organization,
Right.
Is very young. So with that, of course, the personnel are young. So that brings some challenges as well. And I think just being able to take a look at the entire department and saying, all right, how do we progress to the next level and just get better?
Yeah. And where are you seeing the runway in that? I mean, is it things like simply buying new equipment, opening up new firehouses, or are there other more newer ways of training people that we can take advantage of? What are you seeing?
Absolutely. When you take a look, and again, I come from a very large department.
Right,
so
because El Paso's, how many people now? Like 25 million? 30 million?
The city itself is about 650,000.
So not too different from Albuquerque.
Correct. Now, for me, the challenge is the geography of the
Right. Because Bernco County's huge.
Yes.
And then we have the urban forest that probably creates some challenges.
And then, of course, it's separated in each part of town.
Right.
That's the biggest challenge for me to take a look. How do we provide the best service with those challenges?
Right. How do you figure out how to get fire engines from one side of town to the other side of town across the limited number of bridges we have?
Well, when you look at it, each area is kind of made to be self-sufficient. So you've got the North Valley, the South Valley, the East Mountains, and for the immediate needs that happen, they're self-sufficient.
Okay, great.
And if something big occurs, then we start utilizing other areas, mutual aid, stuff like that.
Right. How much does the rain help? I know that, I was driving up in these mountains the other day, and beautiful, just everything is green, but the signs they have on the side of the road still said fire danger is high. And I was like, how can that be? We've been dumping rain. Is it still that high, or somebody just hasn't changed the sign?
Well, for the most part, the rain does help, and it lessens the danger. Keep in mind, it's cyclic. At a certain point, the rain won't be here; it'll dry out, and with all this growth, you're going to have an added danger. So,
of course.
So the immediate is there, and that can change at any time. It's hard to predict where we're going to be in a month or something like that.
Right. But does that, going forward, does that, remove any restrictions on things like having campfires and things like that?
Well, yeah, it does. And when you look at it, for now, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Looking a week or two from now, it may change. Now, for us right now, the biggest concern is the 4th, and just because of the nature of it.
Yeah.
And so right now we're looking pretty good. I mean, it's coming up in a few days. So
right.
Hopefully
is it all hands on deck on that night? Do you just say no firefighter gets a day off with their family? You've all got to be in the firehouse, and just in case.
Well, we do. We certainly have to allow some people off.
Right.
Contractually, but we have extra units that are going to be staffed. We have some patrols that are going to be out there, and that's across the whole entire county. Working with the other fire departments in the area, they'll be doing the same thing, patrolling the areas, having extra crews on duty to make sure that we can meet the needs.
How do you guys work with AFD? I know that a lot of people don't realize that there's kind of the shared service in the city, and then the county covers all of that area outside of the city, unincorporated. How do you guys manage that with the city? And do you fight over it and say, this is my fire, I'm putting it out, or what do you do?
No, and that's the good thing is in today's environment, it's two fully paid career departments.
Right.
And so we just learn to work with each other, and we try to find efficiencies. Bottom line, we're trying to serve the public the best that we can.
Right.
We've got automatic aid agreements to try to get us the closest unit to any location where there's the interface between the two.
Right. Well, I know you are from El Paso, and I know that there already is a conflict with the isotopes, because you've got the isotopes and the Chihuahua team coming in. Like, who do you root for?
Man, that's a tough one. I'm telling you, it's coming in.
Yeah,
you got to lean towards the isotopes because
you are now the Bernco County Fire Chief. You can't ignore them.
That's right.
But a lifetime of cheering for the guys from Chihuahua, right?
Absolutely.
So who's going to win? We're holding this to you now.
That's a good question. But I tell you, it's not going to be the only battle. As I look, have UTEP comes up here and does battle as well. So it's going to be never ending for me.
Oh man, you know what? Just wear your red and yellow soul scarf wherever you go, and that way you won't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about wearing the Isotopes colors or the Lobos colors. And
it says Albuquerque.
That's what you need, right?
It.
But we're gonna figure out next what is finally in this box that we've got sitting here all morning. I was wondering if I was gonna have to have the fire chief check out the box and make sure it was safe before we got in. But we're gonna come back with a magician and an illusionist in just a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew.